Britain's dominant service sector, which accounts for around 80% of the UK economy, has been left out of EU trade negotiations, a report has claimed. The paper, produced by think tank UK in a Changing Europe, says the sector, which accounts for around 30 million jobs, has been given little attention by the government. The report, titled Services and Brexit, says that the EU is the primary destination for Britain's service exports. It stresses the single market has allowed greater cross-border trade than is typical of free trade agreements. Even if a deal is struck this year, the think tank warns that services will suffer, and even without one, it claims that service exporters will face significant barriers as World Trade Organization rules are much weaker for services than goods. It added that the hugely important financial services sector would depend on a unilateral EU decision on equivalence, which can be revoked at short notice. The think tank also warned there may be staff shortages in sectors such as financial, health, education and road haulage, which are often highly dependent on EU migrant workers. The report added, when free movement ends and the government's new post-migration proposals take effect, there may be staff shortages in sectors which rely on workers who will not meet the salary thresholds proposed within the new scheme. It continued, trade deals typically do not enable services trade to nearly the same extent as they do for trade in goods. As a result, strategically important sectors in the UK, including financial services, will face new barriers to selling into the EU market from 1 January 2021. It warned that, given the distance between the negotiating positions of the two sides, services were extremely vulnerable. The report said, whilst the UK emphasises the need for regulatory autonomy, the EU insists on conditions to remove the risk it perceives of regulatory competition from the UK. The governments of both Theresa May and Boris Johnson have paid little attention to the services sector in the Brexit negotiations, despite the fact that it accounts for some 30 million jobs. The EU's single market is the primary destination for UK services exports, and the UK runs a trade surplus with the EU, and leaving the single market will have a profound effect on tradable services. It warned the current coronavirus crisis was also impacting the sector, forcing many businesses into financial hardship.